So I will wait for you guys to come on. Apparently Facebook wasn't lying when they said they had technical problems. So hopefully it will let me finish this. And I'm so sorry for all of you who are watching the first part. And hopefully it saved the first part. But I will wait for you guys to come back because I'm wrapping my boutonniere stems. So I'm hoping that that shared. And I'm hoping we didn't miss out on the beginning of this tutorial. If I see that that video didn't save, I will go back and make something. But it keeps saying messages that Facebook is having technical difficulties. So I really apologize that we had to jump back on, and I'm hoping I don't lose it. It even was not letting me get back on right away. So let's see if we can get through this video without it stopping again. But this is now part 2 of our boutonnieres. So I apologize, but I keep getting messages that Facebook is having technical difficulties with their videos. So I'm gonna wait for you guys to jump on again. If you were watching the first part of our video, we made this boutonniere, and now we're just wrapping the stem. I'm gonna try to go fast through this because I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but I never had that before where they even like messaged me in the middle of the video. So that was weird. So what I've done already is I've wrapped my satin ribbon to the stem, and I'm gonna glue it at the very bottom, again in the back. Don't let me cast it from my phone either. Yeah, Valerie, something's going on. Like literally, there are messages popping up on my recording saying Facebook is having technical difficulties. So I don't know, but I'm gonna try to get through this for you guys. Okay, so this is a satin ribbon that I've stem wrapped. I really apologize. Facebook is sometimes a little quirky. All right, now I'm just going to glue this shut, and this one I'm gonna leave as a pin-on corsage to keep it traditional. Now you can seal the bottom off with hot glue. So what I would do is I just squirt the hot glue on the bottom and let it dry so that it's solid at the bottom. Will that fit through the buttonhole? I don't know, I never put it through a buttonhole. Usually you pin it. You don't put it through a buttonhole. You leave it just like this, and they pin it so you can see the stem. Okay? So again, we have 2 flowers, a 2-inch, a 1.5 inch, the eucalyptus, cassia, spiral eucalyptus. The ribbon for this was actually from Amazon. I get almost everything from Amazon. I really don't like going out to stores. I'm not like, I don't know, it's not my thing. I hate shopping. So I get everything from Amazon. And this is a thin one. This is 3/2 inch. Okay, that's the size. I know it's backwards because of the video, but just so you can see. And again, I would use a pin for this. So this is like a dusty blue with the navy ribbon. Again, this is a little more traditional. So it's got the eucalyptus, cassia, spiral eucalyptus, and the dried baby's breath. So this is a 2-flower boutonniere. Again, I usually save 2 flowers for either dads and grooms, but I do the dads different than the grooms. Let me just show you kind of the size of it. So guys, if you're just joining now, sorry, Facebook is having technical difficulties and it's cut off my first video. So if for some reason that video didn't get shared and saved, I will make sure to make a video of how to do the 2-flower boutonniere. Okay, so that's a traditional 2-flower boutonniere. Now I'm going to do 1 flower, and I'm actually going to do it on magnets. So I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, I'm going to use the same greenery for leaves. I'm going to use the Silver Dollar eucalyptus. So the one that I'm using, I believe, is the hybrid. In the first video, Sultan actually put up the link for it, but it's under filler and it's called hybrid because some of the leaves are oval and some of them are that more round. But it's really, really, really pretty, and it looks, I actually like the oval for that. So I do apologize, guys. Facebook is having its little issues. So with these flowers that from the side view, they're maybe not so pretty, you can bend the head forward so that that's what you see. So that's the great thing about wood flowers is you put them on a wire and you can bend them to whatever angle you want. So I'm going to take this. This is a Helena. It's a 2-inch Helena. I know you guys are going to ask me the color. So this is called, it's kind of funny because I always think of Sultan, but this color is called Sultana. And like Sultan's name with an A at the end of it. It is from Behr brand paints from the Home Depot. Again, it's called Sultana. It's a nice bright plum color. And this is a Helena flower in a 2-inch. And we're just going to do one flower for this one. So I am going to get my tape ready again to the side. So again, I always start with a leafy green. And then I put my other fillers in there. So I'm actually going to use the same greens again. And sometimes I use a bunch of leaves, sometimes I just use 2, sometimes you can just do 1. That's going to be up to you. If you use faux silk ones, you can actually almost just glue it to the flower. But I am using the real preserved here. I'm going to use lavender because it's a pretty purple and it goes like, it complements it, but it's not the same, you see? What else do I want to use? I'm going to use a little bit of the, this is called, oh my gosh, it just went out of my brain. Hold on. Platyspermum. Okay, so this is the platyspermum. I'm going to use this with it as well. And I think that's all I want to do for this one. We'll see when I build it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my leafier greens, which is my spiral, my silver dollar. Again, I think I used the hybrid eucalyptus. And I'm going to put this back. Okay. Sorry guys, if you were on the first video, Facebook is having technical difficulties with their lives right now. They actually sent a message saying they're having technical difficulties. So again, hopefully that first one shared. After this, I'm going to go back. If it didn't share, I will make a video, not a live one, I'll make a video of the 2-flower boutonniere, but this is just the 1-flower boutonniere I'm doing right now. So I'm going to make sure my greens are spread out like that. Isn't this purple so pretty next to the greens? Again, this color purple is called Sultana. I know, right, Amanda? I had a feeling something was going to happen because it said we're having technical difficulties. And the video was fine for then, but it's not. It's telling me to like shut down the program and restart it or something, but let's try. So I'm going to use my platyspermum and I'm going to put it on the side. Again, I like things off to the side, not straight behind it. I don't like the little like straight up bunny ear look thing. So I put it off to the side and I'm going to tape it all the way down again. Okay, so look how pretty this greenery looks with this. Isn't this a pretty color? This is my favorite purple ever. I use this purple a lot. And I never forget the name of it because, again, it's like Sultan's name with an A. So who can forget it? Now none of you will forget it either. So you see how pretty the green is there? And then I've got lavender. So I like to put one, when I do lavender, it doesn't look good if it's too like even. You got to put one up a little taller than the other. So I'm going to slide this behind. And I'm going to pull it down lower. Now this is the preserved lavender from Love Soul of Flowers. Again, it is very different than dried. If you've ever worked with dried lavender, it tends to shed a lot. And the little blooms, you know, end up in a bag at the bottom of your thing. But these do not. This is preserved. It does not shed as much. Now, it obviously has a little bit of shedding because they're little blooms, but not the kind of shedding like a dried does. So I love, love, love. This is my favorite. If you've not tried our preserved lavender, please do so because it is the best. You'll never, ever go to dried again, ever. And it keeps a nice bright color as opposed to that very, very dried out look, which I like too because it looks alive. So see how simple this is, but look how beautiful. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna snip the bottom. Okay. Again, I don't like it too long. So I snip the bottom right across the tape, if you can see. I literally cut through the tape so that it like seals the bottom. Now, this is actually gonna be a boutonniere for a high school senior. So I'm gonna use something kind of fun to wrap the stem. Right, Kay? Like, I didn't even realize there was a such thing as preserved. I always thought you had to get the dry, but no, you do not. It is preserved and it is really cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna wrap it with, this is actually a black suede ribbon. I think when I searched it, I searched like faux leather or something like that. But I don't know if you can see it, but it is really cool. It is a thin string of like a suede-y, leathery looking thing. So for young guys, like for proms and things like that, it's super fun. We're gonna start at the top with our dab of glue. We're gonna hope that we get through this Facebook video without them knocking me off. Sorry if you were on our other one and got knocked off. Facebook is having some difficulties. Okay, so I'm gonna just wrap it like I would a ribbon. Now this is super thin, so I'm gonna wrap it down and then I'm gonna wrap it back up again so that it has 2 layers. So I'm just gonna spin it around, and then when I get to the bottom, I'm gonna glue it, but I'm not gonna cut it because I'm gonna come back up and I'm gonna give it like a messy look. I don't want it to look like row, 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 row. I'm actually gonna make it look like a little messy because, again, this is for a high school student and I kind of want it to look kind of cool with the suede wrap. I did get this suede wrap on Amazon. Again, I think I typed in like faux leather ribbon, something like that. That's how I search it. Amazon's really good with searching. Like if you search something with, you don't know the name of it, you just kind of put in what you want to call it in your head. Usually you can find it. So I'm gonna just go back up again. Okay, and I just spin it like this. Again, I'm letting it be a little messy. I think it's really cool for, you know, a non-traditional wedding for a guy who likes a little more masculine of a wrap, but doesn't want twine because maybe it's still like not a rustic wedding, but it's not necessarily traditional as well. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you this up close. And this one I'm gonna do a magnet on the back, so I'll show you that in a second. So can you see, can you see the wrap? It's like a suede leather look. How cool does that look? Isn't this pretty? And again, I like to seal the bottom with a blob of glue. And if I lick my finger, it doesn't burn me, so. Okay, so I got that. Now, this is how we do the magnets. So you need to get 2 magnets, okay? These, you want to get the really super strong ones. These are from actually Hobby Lobby. They come in like a big row, and they're very strong. They're round, and I mean they go through my finger. Okay, so they're very, like, they're strong. So you want to get a strong magnet because you don't want people to hug them and it flop off. You want it to be really strong. So you're gonna have your 2 magnets. You're gonna find the back of your boutonniere. You don't want to go too low because you don't want to see the magnets from the other side. So you want to go up high by where this filler is, and you're going to put a big blob of hot glue. Now, if you are someone who uses hot glue, Gorilla Glue, you could certainly use Gorilla Glue, but I've never had problems with the hot glue, regular hot glue on a shirt. So I'm going to show you how to attach it in a second. I just want to let it dry because I definitely don't want to burn myself with this hot glue. So let me just make sure. So you're going to look in the front. You want to make sure you don't see the magnet. So I put it high enough that it's there. So I want to let it dry. I'm going to show you how to attach it onto my shirt. So what you're going to do is one of your magnet, let me make sure it's dried enough that I'm going to be able to pull it off. Okay. So one of your magnet goes inside your shirt and then it matches up in the front. So you don't need any pins. So I do this, you can do this even for mom pin-on corsages where you don't have something that you want to pin. Because you know, like with mom pin-on corsages, you don't necessarily have like a stem nubby thing. So you can use magnets if you just have full flowers. So because there's nothing to pin on. So magnets work really well. And you really can, I mean, it's really on there. The magnets are very strong. If you had a really big boot, you could even use 2 if you felt like a little nervous about it. But it is not going anywhere. It's definitely hug worthy there. But so yeah, so you put the magnet on the inside. I do these for little ring bearers as well, because I would hate to put a little pin on a 2-year-old because, you know, they'll be touching it and they'll be, and you don't want them to get scratched. Okay, so let me show you again. I put the magnets on the back, and then one goes in your shirt, and then you just clip it on like that. So they could put it on their coat however you want. Obviously the higher you put your magnet, the less the top part. So if you have a top heavy one, you know, you want your magnet up higher. I put it usually right at the bottom in the center. So that is how we do a magnet boutonniere. And again, this one's a little bit less traditional because I did the suede wrap. This had the preserved lavender in it. When I put it on my shirt, it got tucked back there. Let me put it back in the front. So I've got my preserved lavender and my platyspermum and my preserved, it's the hybrid eucalyptus on our lovesoloflowers.com website. So let me put this guy over here, and we're gonna do our final one before Facebook kicks us off. I'm doing a rustic boho without flower filler boutonniere. Okay, so these have been super popular lately. I have spiral eucalyptus, I have caspia, I have platyspermum, I have setaria, I have bunny tails. Let me see, here we go. Bunny tails and phalaris in the natural colors. Again, this is going to be a no flower boutonniere, which is super popular these days. I got my other phalaris, and then I have star flower filler and rice flower, but I'm going to add that at the end when I pull it off. And I can actually put baby's breath in this too if I feel like it needs a little bit of whiter, but we'll see. Okay, so this again, you're still going to start with your greens because your greens always give you a base. So when I have my spiral, again, I want to strip down the little leaves off the bottom because I want to have something to tape. I'm just going to pull off a couple pieces of tape here. So if you were watching our first part of our things, we got kicked off. We did a 2-flower boutonniere, then we did a 1-flower boutonniere. Now it's a no-flower boutonniere. So I want to set up my greens first, okay? And then we will work through our fun little fillers here. So I've got my spiral eucalyptus and my platyspermum, and then my other green is caspia. So I'm going to put that in the back. So you're going to want to layer it. You don't want the tops of your greenery to all hit the same spot. You want it to be layered. Now with these two, you want the bottoms to kind of show because it's going to be cute because there's no wires. So I'm just taping it a tiny little bit. Do you see how I'm taping it just a little bit? Okay, don't go all the way down. So again, all the tops are at different levels. Now I'm going to add my kind of funner fillers here. So I'm going to put my setaria because it's nice and big in the back. I'm going to do my phalaris next. And again, I like to, for boutonnieres, to group my fillers. Okay, so like my phalaris is going to go as a little group because it kind of acts like a flower. Let me just break off, this is a little too long here. So I'm going to put my phalaris on one side and I'm going to do my bunny tails behind on the other side. Okay. So again, I'm going to keep them just bundled. And this is great for, good for matching boho, wildflower, because you can do any of the colors. You can do wildflowers like the lavender and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do neutral colors. The tape is from Amazon as well. And it's vinyl floral tape. Okay, so you don't have to stay in neutral colors. I just did because I've already done purple and all that kind of stuff. So I'm staying in the neutral world here. So now I have starflowers and rice grass, and then I'm done. How fast is that boutonniere? Now, if you do want this style of boutonniere, but you want the groom to have some type of a flower besides these little star flowers, you can do a mini and put a little mini, even a skinned mini, and it looks super cute with it. And you can just add it in so that it's not flower heavy. So you can do like a 1-inch flower or a 1.5-inch flower. So I've got my star flowers, and again, I'm keeping them bunched in bundles when I put them in my boutonniere. Okay, so I'm gonna put my star flowers right there in the front. And did I pull myself tape? No, I didn't. This is why I like to do my tape first, because I don't like to have to bite it off, but okay. So I've got that little bundle, you see? And then I've got my rice grass. I love using the rice grass. Again, all these fillers can be found on lovesoloflowers.com. Rice grass is like my favorite rustic filler that we carry. So I'm gonna use my rice grass in the front and in the back. So I'm gonna set it up behind, but look at it, gives it like a halo of sprinkles. I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but I love it. I always think of it as like a little halo because it looks like they float because you can't see the stem that the rice is on. And so it looks just like it sprinkles. So I'm just gonna add some to my back, as you can see, some to my side, and then some to my front. And it's the perfect rustic filler that you can add to anything that you're trying to get that look for. So I'm just gonna fix my tape up a little bit. And then this one, because it's rustic, we're gonna actually do a little bit of a twine wrap. Okay, I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna cut underneath the tape so that you can kind of see the little stems. Okay, so I'm gonna leave those because it's cute and there's no wires or anything that you need to cover. And then I've got my twine, and I'm gonna put a dot of glue on the back, and I'm just gonna wrap it the same way as we wrapped the other two. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm covering all my green tape. I love these. I could make these all day long. I mean, I love doing bouquets like this too. If you saw on our business page, I posted, I think it was 2 days ago, the bouquet that we did that was just fillers. I love our fillers. And I wasn't a real filler person, like real, like meaning dried or preserved. I loved fillers, but I didn't like dried and preserved because I couldn't find any I loved. I went to all the different kinds of stores. I ordered from all different vendors, and I hated them. And then when Sultan came out with them, I always trust him to find like super high quality stuff. And he certainly delivered, because I can't find anything as great as his stuff, like ever, anywhere. And so I just use, Love Soul Flowers has everything I need for, especially the rustic side of it. There's a lot of those styles, but certainly better quality than I've found anywhere else. So I'm gonna actually, like I said, leave the little stems poking out. You can make them shorter. I went kind of long on the stem on this because it's just that. But look, it looks like a little mini bouquet. Isn't it so cute? These are my favorite. I don't even know what I want to do with them, but I maybe make them magnets for my refrigerator or something. But I feel like they're cute little mini bouquets or something, and I love them so much. And again, you could put a magnet on these, but you could also, pin them on. So again, you can do a fuller one like this for the groom, and then just like a few pieces for the groomsmen. You could put a little mini, I don't have a mini anymore. Right near me. To show you what it would look like with a mini. But you could add a little baby mini and something like this and it still look, you know, rustic and heavy on the filler. So, but yeah, isn't that cute? Actually, it doesn't go on this side, I guess. I guess they wear it on this side. Okay. So, it's my favorite. Again, this was spiral eucalyptus, platyspermum, setaria, bunny tails, rice grass. And the rice grass really just like changes the whole look. Caspia, star flowers, and the phalaris. And of course we have different colors of things. So if you wanted to match the colors of your wedding and still have the rustic look, you could still bring in color. I just used natural because I didn't have any color scheme in my head. So I used all natural colors. So that's cute, right? With the little twine, right? Isn't it cute? Well, this is the other thing. So I always tell brides too, if they choose to get magnets for their boutonnieres, you know, I mean, I know groomsmen might not want to save them, but maybe their wives do. And they can become actual magnets on your refrigerator. So, you know, you can have a little remembrance of the wedding. I know a lot of people do that with the groom boutonnieres. They use them as an actual magnet, but you can also put them in the shadow boxes and things like that. So that is our thing. So let me show you the 3 we made. So we have, but again, that first one was in the first video that got cut off by Facebook. It's a 2-flower, elegant boutonniere, more traditional. It's a blue satin wrap, stem wrap. Then we had a little bit more funkier 1-flower one with the suede wrap, black wrap. Okay, and then lavender, if you can see that. In real life, you can see it better, but you can see the lavender. That's the 1-flower. And then we did rustic with no flowers. That's just the fillers, and I left the little stems hanging out there. And I did a twine wrap to keep with that look. So boutonnieres can have their own styles, guys. Let the men shine too a little bit. And you can just do so many different things, even with just boutonnieres. And I like to look at them as little creations and design little aspects too. Especially now, like I said, a lot of photographers are doing these little detail shots where they'll lay it next to a ring box, put it next to the woman's high heel shoes, you know, all the different things. They really get pictures of this stuff. So don't just do it a throwaway thing. Lynette, every single preserved and dried filler used tonight is from lovesoloflowers.com. So you're going to go in the filler thing. So anyway, I have just as much fun designing boutonnieres as I do bouquets, because I think of them as just kind of fun little pieces, and it doesn't take forever, so it's kind of enjoyable for me to do it too. So here we go. We got them. 2-flower, 1-flower, no flower, all different styles, still as much fun, all different wraps, some with pins, some with magnets. But I hope you enjoyed the tutorial tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulty for the first video, so it was cut off, I know, but I'm going to go see and make sure that it was at least recorded for you guys. If you do have any questions and you're watching this on a replay, go ahead and ask. We always answer after the fact as well. I'm going to put these little guys away, and we will see you next Thursday. It is spring break for us here in New Jersey, so if for some reason I'm away for the day, I will let you know what day we're switching it for. But we try to come for tutorials on Thursday nights here on our business page. It's facebook.com/lovesoloflowers. That's our business page, and we are in the video section. Is all of our tutorials. Again, we have a community group, but we do our videos here because they're much easier to find. So yeah, so that's that. So we look forward to seeing you next week. We will see you next week at some point. If I have to change the time, I will let you guys know ahead of time. I always announce it in the community group so that you guys, if you don't get notifications or anything, you guys at least know that I'm coming on. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful night. Have a very happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. The tape is from Amazon. Basically, everything here is from Amazon and Love Sola. That is basically all of my stuff. So, again, I said the paint colors and things earlier as well. So you can watch it in the replay. I'll make sure this one's at least shared. And I'll check to make sure the other video is shared as well if you missed the first part. All right, guys, have a wonderful night.